Hey, we are back with another video. Today we're going to go over some stocks today, like SPY, the NASDAQ, IWM, QQQ, SQQQ. We're going to go over Bitcoin, stocks like Apple. We're going to go into the AI sector, the oil sector, the airline sector, like stocks like Boeing, the gold sector, like stocks like Barrick Gold Corporation, the bank sector, look at Bank of America, in the bank sector, and we will also look at the defense sector as well. Stocks like Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman Corporation. So we'll start here up with the SPY 500. So today the SPY 500 opened up. My resistance previously was at 1275. It opened up above our resistance today, and then went up from there. If you look at the 1 minute chart, opened up at 513, and since then has gone to 514. It's kind of traded sideways. This is because it's a slow news week in the beginning of the week, Monday through Wednesday. There's really nothing going on except FOMC speakers, and then Thursday and Friday, we got some news coming on, like consumer sentiment and some job report. So my new resistance on SP 500 is $517, and I moved up my support as well from 505 to 510, and I also moved up the support down here. It was around 497 up to 505.50. So we'll see how the SP 500 wants to move out the week with a lack of news. My guess, the contracts are going to want to decay a little bit like they did today. You didn't see a lot of fast price movement in these option contracts if you're trying to scalp in the morning. That's okay, you got to expect that. And we'll move on to the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ hit our resistance perfectly. We go down to the 1 5-minute chart. It opened up this morning. It came up, hit our resistance perfectly, and it's been stalled there for the rest of the day, just right at that resistance. Doesn't quite want to break it yet. And I have support here at 17,550 and another support down here at 70,200. We'll go to IWM. IWM broke our resistance a bit today. It came back, went up, came back, touched our resistance. Now it's stalling around there. So yeah, we could probably keep resistance where it's at right now. Or we could move it up just a little bit to somewhere like just 205. Like that's basically be the only change for IWM, because we still have support around here at 200 and another smaller support at 197. Then QQQ, what did it do today? Come up and it hit our resistance perfectly. Opened above last night's close. It came up, hit our resistance, and then it's been stalled there throughout the day. So QQQ, I'm going to keep these same levels as well. 438 is a pretty good resistance, and 429, pretty good support. We do have shorter term supports in general. Like maybe right here, 433 is a good support to see what that does. If SPY 500 and QQQ don't want to keep coming up, I want to say I remain bearish. These are pretty bullish movements, right? Overnight big movements and then stalls out throughout the day pretty much. So we'll keep our eyes on all these stocks. Right now we'll go to SQQQ breaking our support. So we're going to want to lower our support. I'm down somewhere around 1075. 1075 is my next support for SQQQ. And also I'm going to put another resistance on here. Another resistance at 1120. 1120 resistance and 1075 support is what I'm really looking to see what SQQ does between the zone. Even if it does push against the first resistance, we're going to want to see if it can go up to the second resistance right here and then come back and hit this target again of $13. That is like the opposite of what QQQ runs. So when QQQ is bearish, SQQ will be going up. And then we'll move on to some of the main plays that I do in the morning. So every morning I scalp with my community, and it's good to look at maybe 5 stocks, but These are the main stocks that we look at: Apple, Google, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta, Amazon. Sometimes Netflix. It's good to see, just keep your eye on a certain set of stocks, and then you could look to see how their price reacts in the morning, what they do, how they move. Are they going to hit their resistance? Are they going to hit their support? What are they going to do around those areas? So right now, Apple came above or at our support level. It's coming back down to the support level, so we don't really have anything to do here. Apple's probably going to hit our support, or this is considered a hit, and we'll see if it's going to come back down through this support or if it's going to reject and bounce back up. So that's Apple right there. Google is still in between our resistance and support at around 467. Ever since its earnings, it went up and then it's been coming down. Now it's been stalled around here. So this right here is support also around 162, but there's nothing really much to do on Google for now, right? So we want to see which way it wants to go after this earnings. Microsoft is going up to hit our resistance right here at 412 today. Microsoft also off earnings came up. We have support here at 397. Microsoft has been up for a minute, you know. You could kind of maybe expect some pull downs, but right now it's doing pretty good for itself. It's maybe going to hit up that resistance, and then we'll want to see if it goes up through that. NVIDIA is looking pretty good still, you know. It came down, it's like didn't crash too much. It had a nice support around 775, right? And came back up and went through our resistance at 907. So now we could move our resistance on NVIDIA to somewhere around 930. I'll put 930 here, and I'll move our support now to 880. So we'll do that. A new 880 support and a new resistance at 930. So it'll be important to see what NVIDIA wants to do through here. This is a company with a massive amounts of cash and market cap. So we'll see if they want to continue this push higher. You know, they have a lot of positive things going on within their industry, so it's possible that we keep seeing higher price movements on this. We'll go down to Tesla. Tesla still in between our resistance and our support. Once again, off that earnings, it came down, it's coming down, it's holding our support right on that candlestick. It came down, did not want to go past that. It went right back up. It held that support, and now it's going back up again, maybe, or it's going to come and hold that support. We want to see what Tesla does throughout these ranges. Amazon hit our resistance again today. Let's see. Yes. In the morning. What did it do? Open. Saw a little bit and came up, hit our resistance. Since that resistance, hasn't liked it. It's going to stall through here, right? Meaning on Amazon, it's either right now, probably pretty soon, it's going to stall, come back down and hit our support, or it's going to want to go through that resistance. Amazon's in a pretty favorable space right now. And we go to Meta breaking our, look at that. Meta broke our first resistance, perfectly went up, met our second resistance, and probably hasn't want to gone through that. So yeah, Meta today came from last night, went up, made that as the new support. So we could turn that to support now, actually. Make that 453 our new support, and then now it's stalling at a resistance. So we'll want to see what it goes through here. I'll get rid of this support and I'll make this a new resistance at 474. If Meta wants to go through here, I'm expecting it to go to higher prices around 474. So we'll see how Meta breaks this resistance and if it wants to continue going higher. Netflix also breaking resistances. This is probably going to be changed to our support now, and we'll get rid of these other supports because you don't want to have too much. So now it's heading to our next resistance, and our next resistance level is at 497.16. Today, Netflix opened up and it didn't want to stop. It blasted through our resistance and it kept going. So now it's aiming for that next resistance level, and it created a new support. Right? Great. All right, AMD coming up, hit on our resistance right now, kind of went through it and came back down. So it's probably going to stall out with the rest of the day. I'm going to leave that level on AMD. If it wants to fully break this level, we could maybe expect higher prices to meet this high at 162, and if not, if it rejects this, it'll come back down to 145, right? AMD just came off of earnings. We could expect a little bit more upside from them because their industry has been doing pretty well. It might be at a good price to get it just for some short-term shares or something like that. Intel still between our support and our resistance right there. There's not much really to do on Intel, if I'm being honest. Disney ran up quite a bit today this morning, just around to our resistance at 117. But you got to be careful because they got earnings tomorrow. So you want to be careful what you do on Disney. This could either bring Disney all the way back up. It could bring Disney back down to the support here. We don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow in terms of earning with Disney. Dell Technologies went up today, hit our resistance, and is stalling there for the rest of the day. I have support at 120. We'll see what Dell wants to do. It might want to break this. It might want to stall out here until it gets its earnings again. Then we'll go here to Nike. Nike, this is a sweet bottom for Nike. Nike could go around to $80, but right now it's looking like it's tapping here around 90 and it doesn't quite want to break this to the downside anymore. So, off that earnings, it came down, hit that support, went back up as a resistance, hit that support again. We want to see Nike into higher prices around 160, but that's going to be way in the future, right? We can't really know if it's going to want to go up and have a big run like this yet or something like this. We have to wait for confirmation that it wants to break this resistance, and then we have another target here, and if it wants to break that target, we can make more targets on the upside. So that's what I'm really looking out for on Nike. SMCI, you got to be careful, right? Just had earnings. It came down, hit our support at 704, and now it's going back up. There is a resistance up here at $1,024. SMCI might want to run back up there and hit that resistance, but you don't want to make up a play in your mind without actually seeing something because there is a little bit shorter term resistance up here. So SMCI is going up right now, but you definitely want to be careful what you do that. You could scalp that in the morning too. Like today, it opened up, it saw a little bit, and then it went up, saw a little bit, went up, saw a little bit. So that's what I see on SMCI today. We'll move on to some other stocks. We'll go to the AI sector. Here we have C3 AI. Right now, I'm just going to make some supports and resistance for this because I honestly been looking pretty bullish on AI recently. I think it's going to do a lot of stuff in the future for us. I'm going to put a resistance right there at $27. So I got a resistance right here at $27 and support at $20.50. So we'll see how these AI companies want to rock. This is C3 AI. Another AI I like is SoundHound. SoundHound has earnings on Thursday, but it hit our support of $3.50 and now it's going up to hit a resistance possibly. We want to see how it goes off of this earnings. SoundHound is a company that deals with like AI voice automations, and they working a lot with like sound and AI and things like that, which is honestly became pretty popular if you've been on social media, and the things that are able to do with that type of technology is kind of, I don't know if it's worrisome or if it's cool, but it's here and it's probably going to be here to stay is what I'm saying. It's at a nice price right now for longs. Maybe. We don't know. I'm just saying I'm bullish on AI. Here's Symbiotic. Symbiotic has earnings tomorrow. We're going to the next sector, oil. A lot of these sectors you could just sum up by looking at one stock. For oil, I look at OXY. OXY has earnings tomorrow, but here it's stuck between $70 and $64. Investor Warren Buffett's highly invested in the OXY. So we'll want to see what it wants to do off of this earning. It's right around our support. If they have good earnings, it's going to definitely want to go back up and reach that high of 70. And so we'll see what they want to do off earnings. For the oil sector, you could look at Oxy to look at things like Chevron, who's at that resistance right now. ExxonMobil, which we can move down our support now to 115. Valero, put a support around 155. And then PBR, Petróleo Brasileiro, coming up, hitting our resistance, and now we're going to see what they want to do until their earnings, right? All right, great. And then we'll go on the airline sector, the United Airlines holding. Look at that. came down and hit our support, and then we had a target here, blasted through our target. Sometimes these airline stocks could move super fast, and that's okay, but because we're really already looking for on some of these airline sectors like BA is something like this, just like a fast up movement. They come down, they come fast, because a lot of these airline stocks, they move with news. There's like negative news about the airline company, the stock crashes, and then people forget about it, and then it goes all the way up after a long time, right? So right now I'm gonna put another target on here actually at $58, and I'll put that target there, but I'll also put a resistance here around $54, and then a support, because I'm thinking that this is gonna hold right here at 50, so we'll move that support way up, and we'll see how United Airlines wants to do in there. And Boeing coming down, hitting our support, and then coming back up. They didn't do much off of earnings, coming back up to reach our resistance right here. So we want to see right that they might want to go up past our resistance. Like I said, on Boeing, we just want to catch something super fast like here, like a 1 month, and it goes boom, 160 to 270. That happens a lot on Boeing, actually. Just big, easy, fast movements. Almost unexpected, but when you know what you're looking for, it's easy to find. And then we'll go to CCL, the cruise line, Carnival Cruise Lines. Right now, it hit our support a few days ago. It's been stalled around there. We don't know if it wants to come up and hit that resistance yet. It's kind of in no man's land. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen right now. So yeah, just be careful on that. And then we'll go to the gold sector. The gold sector, I look at Barrock Gold. Barrock Gold still in between this resistance and this support. If we zoom out, they have potential on the upside, right? But it moves kind of slow. And this is like a good stock to look at for what the other gold companies are doing, like AGQ, which is a ETF for gold, and HYMC, which is just a mining company. It's not the same. But then you have uranium as well, and uranium is actually doing pretty good right now, if I had to say. I was looking at it around this 850, and I bought call options, and I sold them over here at 350 for a good gain, a good little swing play on the upside, Alrighty, and then we'll move on to the banking sector with Bank of America. Bank of America, we could move up this support, this bottom support, up to around $37. Hopefully it won't break this, and we have the Bank of America up to the upside to its next resistance around $38. But the banks, they usually like to move slow, but it's a good way to look at the health of the economy. We're like JP Morgan stalled at our resistance right now. Goldman Sachs keep going and up off it started out as support. Goldman Sachs at all-time highs, so we'll see. We have to be careful with Goldman Sachs and what they want to do after that. And then we have like stocks like PayPal. PayPal want to go up off his earnings. They came down a little bit from that resistance. Now they've just been kind of stalled. All right, then we'll go on to the defense sector. Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, you're going to watch these stocks. Like, these are wartime stocks, like anytime there's like, some conflicts, like these stocks are going to go up because they're making money from war. And right now, that's a good way to look at news, like things that's happening between Israel and Iran. These are good stocks to look at to see what they want to do when these things are happening. And like, is this real? Like, is this going to push the stock of the price up, meaning by that? Like, and yeah, because people like to invest in these type of stocks when wars are going on. And then right now, I'm going to not hopefully make the video too long. I'm going to try to go in some other ones. We'll go marijuana sector. Sundale's having a great push right now. Look at that. In the end of March, push from 130 all the way up to 2. It created like a resistance and a new target here. What did it do today? It stayed around our support, right? It didn't break the support on the downside, nor this one. It held this support, came up, held this support, and it's going up to this higher price right now. There's a target right here at 270. There's another target up here at 280. But Sundale's looking pretty good right now. I'm actually going to put that as the next resistance, and 280 up here. I'm going to put, we already have a target. We have another target up here at 290 actually. So we'll want to see what Sundale Growers does this. If they're actually going to be able to break through resistance and hit our target, or if they're going to stall out resistance and come down, hit a support again. And for the marijuana, you could be looking at Sundale, Cron. Cron's a good one to look at. This has some upside potential right here. I'm actually going to put a target. I have another target at 320. So right here is another resistance. We want to see how that moves on Cron. A lot of these marijuana stocks, they're looking like they have some, there's movement, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You could also look at Tilray. Tilray is a good one, marijuana stock to look at. And then we could go on to the crypto miners. Crypto miners, you're going to want to see what they do. They've been stalled out ever since like the Bitcoin ETF and this drop off right here. They've been stalled out. They come up, they hit their resistance, and come down, hit the support, but there's more areas. They have a lot more upside, right? There's things that we could look for on the upside rather than just these short-term moves, because these are kind of dangerous. Like, it comes up, it comes down. We don't really know what it's going to do. Maybe we'll see some big movements on the upside, or maybe it'll crash. We don't really know. These are miners, like Bitcoin mining stocks, like Mara. Also hit that support. Looks like what want to come up. We'll have earnings soon. Riot, ArkKB. These are all going to follow. Not going to follow, but ArkKB will follow Bitcoin. And Bitcoin came off of our support right here and hit our resistance at $63. And it stalled around here. Want to come see if it held our next resistance. But I'm going to move up the support to around 60. Actually, I'm going to make a new resistance around 73 and make this our new support. And if Bitcoin breaks this, then we could definitely expect some more down movements. But if it comes up and it reaches this resistance, it keep pushes into this, we could definitely expect some more upside. But we're going to have to, Bitcoin's been stalled out for a while here around this support and resistance area. It's either eventually going to go up or go down. It could stall out for a bit longer, even like stall out and come down this low and then shoot up. So we're going to have to want to see what Bitcoin wants to do on that. And then quickly, I'm just going to put in some stocks like Snapchat, what they've been doing off that earnings called a lot. Have been rising ever since that. We got resistance at 1737. Look out for that. That could hit within the next few days. Starbucks has been hurting recently, right? We like to buy stocks when they are hurting, right? What is Starbucks ticker symbol, right? Starbucks, all right. So they've been at a low, right? We got resistance here at 70 and support here at 79. So we might be, and then there's like another target down here, but that's like a while away. So we'll see how Starbucks, maybe they want to start coming up into higher prices eventually. But we're going to have to want to see right now. They just had earnings and they came down a lot. I think there's like a big boycott going on against them right now. And we'll go on to Baba. This is Alibaba. It's like the Amazon of China, basically. So they broke our resistance right here, $78. We could now move this resistance up to pretty much where it's at right now, or 82. And then we have another resistance, I say right here at 88. And we can move up our support. I'm going to bring our support here to $80. So we want to see what Baba does in the next few days. They have earnings on next Tuesday, but we'll also see if they could be able to break this resistance and keep finding upside, or if they're going to stall out here until their earnings. And then we have Costco. I'll try to get these in super fast. Costco breaking our resistance. We got a new resistance at 566. I'm going to make this new support at 430. Reddit new IPO, it came down, went up, came down. You got to be careful with these IPOs. We got earnings tomorrow, actually, and it has a resistance of 51 and 44 of our support. And then DJT coming up, hit our target the other day and came back down. Has been stalled since that between our resistance and our support. We're going to want to see how this trades. It might keep going up later on if it keeps holding this support. But yeah, other than that, that's about the video. Drop any comments of stocks you want me to go over, and I'll try my best to do that. And other than that, thank you for listening to me and being part of the community of Alexander Investment Insights. And you guys have a rest. Grade your day. I'll see you tomorrow.